Welcome back to Catalyst Grid. My name is Kingsley Amafua, lead scheduler with DC Nordics, and I am your host for this masterclass series. Today we are continuing our deep dive into forensic delay analysis. We are currently in Series 3, developing time impact analysis for construction projects. This is a deep practical series focused on real-world forensic thinking. We've covered the basics, but now it's time to get technical. Today, we begin Episode 3, Building Delay Fragnets in Primavera P6. This is perhaps the most critical technical skill for any delay analyst or claims consultant working on major infrastructure. In the previous sessions, we laid the foundations. Today, we move into the engine room to build the actual networks that prove delay. This session is for those who want to master the how behind the what. Most projects experience delays. It is a fact of construction life. But as we've discussed, not all delays are equal. Some are minor ripples, while others are seismic shifts that threaten the entire project timeline. When a delay occurs, the burden of proof falls squarely on the planner. You must be able to show exactly how that event impacted the project step by step with technical integrity that can stand up in a claims meeting. This is where the Fragnet comes in. This is where time impact analysis becomes truly technical, forensic, and unshakable. It is about building a subnetwork that reflects the absolute project reality. Section 1. What is a fragnet? In the world of forensic scheduling, a fragnet is short for a fragment of a network. It is not just a single bar on a Gantt chart. It is a logical microcosm of a delay event. It is essentially a mini network of activities that represents the specific delaying event you are investigating. This could be anything from a design change to a force majeure event like extreme weather or a pandemic. We don't just add a single activity with a long duration and call it a day. That is a common mistake that leads to weak claims and immediate rejection by savvy project owners or claims consultants. It lacks causal logic. Instead, we model the entire sequence, the cause, the duration of the impact, and the logical consequence. This discrete subnetwork must be inserted into the existing schedule to see how it interacts with the live critical path. Section 2. Building a real delay event. Let's look at a practical scenario that we often face in data center projects. These are high-stakes environments where every day of delay carries significant financial penalties. Imagine our critical path transformer delivery is delayed by 6 weeks. This isn't just a simple logistical hiccup where the ship was late. It's often a much deeper technical issue that ripples through the entire supply chain. The delay might start with a supplier redesign due to a component failure. That redesign then leads to factory rework on the core components. You can't just skip these steps. They are part of the forensic truth of the event. Following that, we have the rescheduling of the factory acceptance tests, or FATs. These tests are the final hurdle before shipping, and any rework means the testing lab must be rebooked, causing further cascading delays. To model this correctly in Primavera P6, we must build a fragnet that captures every single one of these technical steps. Only then can we say we have accurately and forensically modeled the impact on the project. We begin our build in P6. Our first activity is Supplier Redesign Transformer. We give it a realistic 10-day duration based on actual correspondence from the manufacturer. Always ground your durations in evidence. We then add Factory Rework as the direct successor. In forensic analysis, you must prove the causal link between the two. You don't have rework without a redesign first. This logic must be unshakable during an audit. We ensure these relationships are driving. We want to see how the redesign pushes the rework, which in turn pushes the FATs. If the link isn't driving, the delay impact won't flow through the schedule correctly. Next, we add the FAT rescheduling activity. Remember, the test cannot occur until the rework is certified and the lab is available. This captures the hidden administrative and logistical delays that often go unrecorded. Then comes the shipping delay. We model this as a 15-day window to reflect the revised logistics, port congestion, and the loss of the original shipping slot. This is a very common scenario in international procurement. Crucially, check your calendars. A delay on a 7-day shipping calendar is very different from a 5-day site calendar. If you use the wrong calendar, your TIA will be mathematically flawed and easily dismissed. Accuracy is non-negotiable. Finally, we add Site Delivery Shift. This is the anchor point where the Fragnet integrates back into the original schedule. It represents the actual arrival of the transformer on site, ready for the next project activity. Our Fragnet is now complete. It is a technical mirror of the real-world delay, capturing the entire chain of events. It is now ready to be impacted or inserted into the live project program for analysis. Section 3. Logic linking. This is where most planners fail. They build a beautiful Fragnet, but then they don't tie it in correctly. The Fragnet must integrate logically and causally with the live project schedule. Never insert isolated activities. An orphaned Fragnet has zero impact on your critical path. It's just noise. It must be tied to its logical predecessors, the activities that were already in progress or planned. We use finish to start, and finish to finish relationships to ensure the subnetwork flows naturally with the project. You must show how the delay event was triggered by a specific project status. In our case, we link the end of the site delivery shift activity in our Fragnet to the original install transformer activity in the master schedule. The integration is now seamless, logical, and technically sound. Section 4. Impacting the critical path. Once linked, we perform the most important step. We hit F9 to reschedule. This is the moment of truth where the software calculates the ripple effect of our delay event. Watch the impact on the Gantt chart. As the software recalculates the entire schedule, you will see the red critical path activities move as our new Fragnet pushes them out. This is the core of time impact analysis. This is the impact phase. We are measuring the delta, the difference between the current project status and the delayed reality caused by the transformer issue. This is how you quantify delay with precision. Look closely at the milestones. Before we inserted the Fragnet, our ready for service milestone was set for the 15th of April. After the impact analysis, it has shifted all the way to the 27th of May. That is a direct, quantifiable impact of 42 days on our contractual completion date. We have now proven the delay using logic and forensic networks, not just hearsay or optimistic guesses. It's in the data. Section 5. Float consumption analysis. Now that we have the impact, we must determine whose time was lost. This is the most contested part of construction claims and where forensic planners earn their stripes. Float is a valuable project resource. When a delay occurs, it consumes this float. If a delay isn't on the critical path, it might just eat up buffer. We need to analyze which specific milestones were hit and by how much. Is it an excusable delay or is it compensable? By isolating the negative float paths in Primavera P6, we establish the project's legal entitlement. This is the technical basis for any extension of time claim. If the Fragnet pushes the contractual completion date beyond the baseline limit, the contractor may be entitled to an extension of time, or EOT. This prevents liquidated damages and protects the project's bottom line. Section 6. Common TIA errors. Even the best analyst can fall into traps. The most common error is using artificial constraints. You must let the logic Fragnet do the work. Don't force the dates. Never use must finish by tags or hard constraints to force a delay to show what you want it to show. If your Fragnet logic is sound, the dates will follow automatically. If they don't, your logic is probably flawed. Second, broken logic. Always run a schedule log, shift F9 in P6 after impacting your Fragnet. Check for open ends and invalid relationships. A single broken link can ruin your entire time impact analysis. Third, using the wrong data date. Your TIA must be based on the project status immediately before the delaying event started. If your status update is too old or too new, your analysis will be technically inaccurate. And finally, never ignore the procurement path. Most major project delays begin in the supply chain, months before they reach the construction site. If you ignore procurement, you're only seeing half the story. Being an elite delay analyst isn't just about knowing how to use the software. It's about forensic thinking. It's about investigating the why and how behind every activity and relationship in your schedule. You must be a detective. You must verify every record, every email, and every site diary that supports your Fragnet durations. If you can't prove a duration is realistic, you can't defend your claim in a dispute. When you stand in front of a client, a contractor, or an arbitrator, your Fragnet must be unshakable. It must represent the absolute project reality. This level of detail is what separates the masters from the amateurs. This technical integrity is what builds your reputation in project controls. Mastery of the Fragnet is mastery of the claim. It's about understanding the project's DNA and how time flows through its logic. Section 7. Defending your analysis. Once you've built and impacted your Fragnet, you must be prepared to defend it. This means having a clear, transparent methodology that anyone can follow. Your report should explain every activity added, every logic link joined, and every calendar used. Transparency is your greatest defense against a counterclaim. If they can't see how you did it, they won't believe it. Remember, the goal is not to win an argument, but to find the truth of the delay. If your analysis is based on forensic facts, you've already won half the battle. This is the elite standard of project controls. To recap our session today, define your delaying event precisely, build a detailed Fragnet subnetwork, link it logically into your live schedule, and analyze the resulting critical path impact. This process ensures that your time impact analysis is robust, defensible, and technically accurate for any mega project, from data centers to infrastructure. It is the gold standard of delay analysis. By following these core forensic principles, you are no longer just updating a project schedule. You are managing the project's time, its liability, and its ultimate success. You are a project controls expert. In the next episode, we dive into the ultimate battleground of construction claims, concurrency, and delay responsibility. This is where the real legal and technical battles are fought. We will show you how to prove who actually controlled the completion date when multiple delays are happening at the same time. This is a complex but essential skill for any high-level planner. It is a session you won't want to miss. We will explore pacing delays, ownership of float, and the forensic investigation of concurrent paths. I look forward to seeing you there. Kingsley Imafua, your host, signing off. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Your engagement helps us keep this masterclass series going for the project controls community. Thank you for joining me for this technical deep dive into time impact analysis. Remember, your time is your most valuable project asset. Protect it with forensic integrity. I will see you in the next session. Master your schedule, master your project. Kingsley Imafua, signing off. Thank you for watching.